Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. All right, college football week 13, the last full week of the regular season. We do the conference championship games next week. Then we have the Army-Navy game. Then we get to bowl season. Then we get to the championship in January. So the year's almost over. Where'd it go? All right, so week 12, straight up picks, 13-8. Against the spread, 12-9. Or over under 13-8. Overall 38-25, 60.3%. Again, the goal is 60%. Straight up, year to date picks 217-56, 79.4%. Against the spread 148 and 125, 54.7. Over under 136 and 137 year to date, 49.8. 501, 318 is the overall record, 61.1%. So I'm definitely happy with that. It's been a great year. All right, we have 6 undefeated teams left. We have 7 one-loss teams and 9 two-loss teams. The Big Ten East, we know that's going to be determined this week. Michigan, Ohio State, both teams undefeated. Can a one-loss Ohio State or Michigan make the championship, the playoffs? I don't know. Pac-12, Washington is currently undefeated. If they go undefeated, will they make the playoffs? If they do, this is their last season in the Pac-12. Remember, next year they are joining the Big Ten. Future Big Tens coming from the Pac-12, Washington, USC, UCLA, Oregon. How will that affect teams like Michigan and Ohio State who are currently undefeated? Are we going to have this many? It's only 6. Are we going to have this many undefeated teams in the Power 4 conferences next year? What's going to happen to the Pac-12? So this season, yeah, there's still a lot of football left in this season, but there's still a lot of questions going into next year. With the SEC title game next week, we know it's going to be Alabama versus Georgia. Alabama's got 1 loss. Georgia's undefeated. If Alabama wins, you'll have Alabama with 1 loss. You'll have Georgia with 1 loss. You'll have Texas with 1 loss. You'll have either Michigan or Ohio State with 1 loss. Who makes the championship? Who's in the 4-team playoff? Florida State right now. You have Florida State, Michigan, Ohio State, Washington, and Georgia all undefeated. Texas, Alabama, Oregon with a 1 loss. So I think some of these games are going to be real big when it comes to the championship. And then obviously next week as well. So we get some couple big weeks here. All right, first game coming out of the SEC, the 9-2 Ole Miss Rebels going against the 5-6 Mississippi State Bulldogs. Ole Miss is favored by 12. I got them winning, covering under 56. Big Ten, their West Division, the 9-2 Iowa Hawkeyes. So Iowa will face either Ohio State or Michigan in the Big Ten title game. What happens if Iowa wins the Big Ten? Then you have Ohio State and Michigan State with a loss. I don't want to, I do want to be part of the committee because I think there's a different way to do it, but we'll have to figure that out maybe for next year because this year's kind of late in the season. But Iowa favored by 1. I got them winning, covering 28's over under. I want to go under so bad, but I'm going to go over on the 28. I think against the Cornhuskers, I think you may go over the 28. All right, so we got Iowa winning, covering, and over on the 28. Big 12 matchup, the 9-2 Oklahoma Sooners hosting the 5-6 TCU Horned Frogs. Oklahoma's favored by 12.5. I got them winning, covering, under on the 63. Out of the MAC, we have the 10-1 Toledo Rockets going against the 5-6 Central Michigan Chippewas. Rockets are favored by 12.5. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 55.5. Out of the American, the 10-1 Tulane Green Wave hosting the 8-3 University of Texas San Antonio Roadrunners. Tulane is favored by 3. I get them winning, covering, and under on the 52. Out of the SEC, Missouri Tigers 9-2, second in the, which division is that? The East? Yes, Missouri is second in the East behind Georgia. Mizzou's favored by 7.5 against Arkansas. I get them winning, covering, and under on the 54.5. Big Ten matchup, the 9-2 Penn State Nittany Lions going against the 4-7 Michigan State Spartans. Penn State is favored by 20. got the Spartans covering, Michigan winning, or Penn State winning, Michigan State covering, and over on the 42. Big 12 matchup, the 6-5 Texas Tech Red Raiders going against the 10-1 Texas Longhorns. Texas is a favorite at 13.5. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 54. Pac-12, the Oregon Ducks, who are 10-1, host the Oregon State Beavers, who are 8-3. The Ducks are favored by 14. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 62. Out of the MAC, the 9-2 Miami of Ohio Redhawks against the Ball State Cardinals, who are 4-7. The Redhawks are favored by 6.5. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 36. Out of the American, we have the 5-5 Navy Midshipmen against the 9-2 SMU Mustangs. Mustangs are favored by 20. I got the Midshipmen covering and over on the 46. So SMU winning, Navy covers the 20, over on the 46. Here it is. Ohio State, Michigan. The Wolverines, the Buckeyes. Both teams 11-0. Michigan is favored by 3.5. So if you look at this rivalry, Michigan leads 60, 51, and 6. The last two games have been won by Michigan, 45-23, 42-27. Ohio State won the 8 games prior to that. The last 2 games in Ann Arbor where this game is being played, it's 1-1. 2019, Ohio State won. 2021, Michigan won. Before that was Ohio State, the 3. Before that were Ohio State. Yeah, I think they do it for a third year in a row. I got Michigan winning, covering the 3.5, under on the 46.5. Yeah, I'm going Michigan on this one. Not that I don't expect the Ohio State Buckeyes to put up a hell of a fight, but the fact that Michigan's scoring more points on the season. They are 38.2 on the average to 33.6 average. Defense, Michigan is a little bit better, averaging 9 points a game, while Ohio State's averaging giving up 9.2. Even in the Big Ten, Michigan is scoring more. It's going to be a hell of a game, but Michigan wins. Ohio State with 1 loss, but then we get Iowa versus Michigan for the Big Ten title game. What if Iowa wins? When is the last time that the Iowa Hawkeyes beat the Michigan Wolverines? (2016). In the Big Ten title game of 2021, Michigan won 42-3. I mean, anything's possible. Is it likely? No, but is it possible? Yeah. Would it just throw the championship committee into tensy if that happened? Oh yeah, it'd be crazy. But all right, next up for the Sun Belt, we have the Troy Trojans 9-2, 3-8, Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles. Troy's favored by 17. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 47.5. A little border rival here, the Kentucky Wildcats 6-5, representing the SEC versus the ACC's Louisville Cardinals. Louisville's 10-1. Louisville's favored by 7. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 15.5. Mountain West is 6-5, San Jose State Spartans versus the 9-2 UNLV Rebels. The Rebels are favored by 3. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 58.5. SEC matchup, Alabama versus Auburn. We know this game is huge. We know the history of the Iron Bowl. Alabama 49-37-1. Alabama's won 3 straight, 3 of 4, 4 of 5, 4 of 7, 7 of 11. Yeah, I mean, Alabama is Since 2009, Alabama's pretty much ran Auburn, but there's been the little snippets in there from 02 through 07, Auburn swept it. So you've always had that kind of ebb and flow of different teams and stuff. This one is in Auburn, the last matchup in Auburn. Alabama won in overtime, 24-22. The one before that, Auburn won 48-45. So they're close games. This game, the line is 14.5. I think, even though Auburn's 6-5, I think they're going to get up for this game. They're going to realize, they're going to go like, you know what, we got to play the best game of our 2023 season here. So, Alabama's favored by 14.5. I got the Crimson Tide winning. I think they're going to win their 4th straight Iron Bowl. Auburn's going to cover that 14.5, and I'm going over on the 49. This game could get wild, just like the Big Ten game against Michigan and Ohio State. Out of the Sun Belt, we have the 10-1 James Madison Dukes going against the 7-4 Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. The Dukes are favored by 9.5. I got them winning, covering. I'm taking over on the 50.5. The 11-0 Liberty Flames out of the Conference USA versus the UTEP Miners, who are 3-8. The Liberty Flames are favored by 17. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 59. The Battle of Washington. So Washington State versus Washington, the Apple Bowl. Washington, the Huskies have led 75-33-6. They have won 8 of the last 9. They are 11-0. The Cougars are 5-6. Huskies are favored by 16.5. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 68. I think the Huskies go undefeated. They win the Pac-12. Then they almost have to be in the playoffs, don't they? I don't know. Would an undefeated Pac-12 champion outweigh a one-loss Alabama, possibly Georgia, Iowa State, or Michigan? I don't know. It's gonna be real interesting what this committee does, because I got the Huskies winning, covering the 16.5, under on 68. But then the ACC versus SEC, we have 11-0 Florida State Seminoles. Can an ACC team, once again, Florida State's done it, Clemson's done it, can they get back to the championship? 5-6 Florida Gators out of the SEC. Florida State's favored by 6.5. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 51. And then the last game of the week that we're going to cover, Georgia Bulldogs, 11-0 versus the 6-5 Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. SEC versus ACC. The Bulldogs are favored by 23. It's going to be a skip in the park. They win, they cover, under on the 60. All right. Once again, for week 13, we have 21 games like we've done every week this year. A lot of games that are going to matter for that championship for that playoffs. I know next year the playoffs expand to 12. That's going to be even wilder, I think, because you're going to have 2 and 3 loss teams in there. And then you're going to have just a crazy upset, and you're going to have a 3-loss team champion. I can see it happening. If not next year, within the next few years. But you know what? I think a realignment is due for college football. Definitely, I've done a couple videos of it. You'll see one across the screen. I'll put that in there. You guys take a look at that from what I did earlier this year. I love kind of looking through all 133, 134 teams and kind of realigning things. I know there's some new teams coming in next year to the FBS. Let me go ahead and pull that up here really quick. Yeah, I was looking ahead and about the realignments and stuff. And where's that at? Here we go. So Sam Houston and Jacksonville State are going to transition, and then Kennesaw State, they're going to transition to the Conference USA next year. So yeah, I mean, next year's realignment with the Arizona's going to the Big 12, Colorado back in the Big 12, SMU and Stanford to the ACC, the Big 10, with the Big 10's picking up. SEC's picking up Oklahoma and Texas. My goodness, it's going to be wild. Yeah, next year's going to be so wild. Can't wait. It's going to be fun. We still got a lot of games left this year. Week 13, as always. Thanks for watching Robert Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leaders for kind of content.